Hi everyone, welcome back to Code Viento. I'm Nihan and today we are diving into the world of stacks in Java. If you have watched our previous videos, you know we implemented a linked list class. We'll use our linked list class to create a fully functional stack class. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how a stack works, how to implement its method, and when to use it in real-world applications. Let's get started. Before we jumping into the code, let's quickly review what a stack is. A stack is a linear data structure that follows the last in first out principle. Think of a stack like a pile of plates. The last plate you added to the stack is the first one you removed. Key functions for a stack are push, pop, and pick. Push, add an element to the top. Pop, remove the top element. Pick, check the top element without removing it. Let's look at our stack class structure. We will use our linked list implementation to manage the element of the stack. The class includes a linked list instance to store the data, a size to know the current number of the elements, a maximum size to define the maximum number of elements stack can hold. Let's start with the implementation of helper methods of stack, has space and is empty. Now it's your turn. I encourage you to pause the video and try implement the has space and is empty method on your own. Alright, let's implement the has space method. Let's move on to the most important methods, push, pop, and pick. The push method adds an element to the stack. If the stack has space, add the element to the head of the linked list. Increment the size. If the stack is full, we throw an error. Can you pause the video here and try to implement the push method by yourself? Here is the push implementation. The pop method removes and returns the top element. Check if the stack is empty. If not, remove the head of the linked list. Decrement the size and return the data. If the stack is empty, throw an error. Can you try to do it by yourself? Here is the pop method implementation. The pick method simply returns the top element without removing it. If the stack is empty, it returns null. Pause the video and can you try to solve the implementation? Here is the pick method implementation. Now that we have implemented all the methods, let's test them in the main method. In this example, we will push first, second, then third element. When we pick the last element, the top of the stack, it should print third. When you pop the first element of it should print third again. When you pop the other element of the stack, it should print second. When we check is empty, it should be false. Then pop the last element, it should be returned first. And check is empty method should be true. Let's run the code together. Pick third, pop second, is empty false, is empty true. In this video, we built a stack using a linked list, implemented key methods like push, pop, and pick, tested the stack to ensure it works as expected. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the next video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.